People call you paranoid. You weren't even trying to catch anyone in anything. And if you've ever walked away from someone the whole room adored, you've probably heard it more than once. Dramatic, judgmental, hard to please. Then 6 months later, everyone else finds out what you saw in the first 10 minutes. There isn't just one kind of narcissist. There are four you keep running into, and your brain has been clocking all of them longer than you've had words for it. Start with the one everyone falls for first, the charmer. He's the best story in the room, remembers your name after meeting you, once makes you feel like the only person worth talking to. You were the only one who didn't feel it. You couldn't explain why, nothing you could point to, nothing you could prove. Research from Dr. W. Keith Campbell at the University of Georgia found that grandiose narcissists are rated as more likable within the first few minutes of meeting someone precisely because charm is the tool, not a side effect. You weren't reading the charm. You were reading what it was covering. Then there's the harder one to name. The victim. She never asks for anything directly. She's just going through something again every time it happens to be your turn to need support. You felt guilty for even noticing the pattern. Dr. Ramani Durvasula, who has spent years researching narcissistic abuse, calls this exact dynamic victimhood used as leverage. The wounds are often real, but they get spent like currency. One man finally said it out loud after 3 years of it. His sister called crying again the night before his wedding. He didn't cancel anything. He just said 5 words. I love you. I'm still getting married. Not cruel, not cold, just someone who stopped negotiating with guilt. Noticing that doesn't make you unsympathetic. It makes you someone who can tell the difference between pain and a pattern. Third is the one nobody suspects. The saint. Most generous person in every group chat. Volunteers first posts about it second, and somehow, every conversation circles back to how much he's done for everyone. You weren't imagining the mismatch between the image and the room. Communal narcissism, studied extensively in Konstantin Sedekidis' research on self-image, describes people who build their identity around moral superiority, the same way others build it around money or looks. The generosity becomes the performance, not the point. You weren't ungrateful for noticing. You were paying attention to who the giving was actually for. Here's the question worth sitting with, though. Is it that you spot them faster than everyone else? Or is it that you've spent years building a radar system so you never get caught off guard again? Both can be true. Only you know which one is running the show right now. Last is the quietest one. The ice wall. Never raises their voice, never apologizes either. Every disagreement somehow ends with you explaining yourself and them saying nothing at all. Nalini Ambadi's research on thin slicing showed that people can accurately judge someone's underlying intentions from just a few seconds of behavior, long before they have the language to explain what they picked up on. You clocked the silence as control before anyone taught you the word for it. That's not oversensitivity. That's pattern recognition running years ahead of your vocabulary. If this is the first time someone put a name to what you'd already noticed, there's more where that came from. If you're a man, you've probably been told you're too harsh for cutting someone off before anyone else saw a problem. If you're a woman, you've probably been told you're too sensitive for noticing the same thing 6 months early. Different words, same dismissal. Most people find out who someone is. You just find out sooner. Early warning isn't paranoia. It's just work nobody sees you doing. Which type did you clock first? The charm or the victim, the saint, or the ice wall? Drop it in the comments. And if someone in your life has ever been called too suspicious for seeing something early, send them this.